Nickel, my nickel, man. Hey, my nickel. Hey, my nickel. Hey, my nickel. Hey, my nickel, my nickel. You over there balling, boy.
We in the complex. MTV Cribs.
MTV Cribs?
MTV Cribs. Mrs. Knueppel.
One rookie in the power rankings. We're gonna go Kon Knueppel, the Duke teammate of Cooper Flag.
Nickel, my nickel, whatever. What's his name?
Knueppel was supposed to be a role player, and every scout, analyst, and draft expert made that perfectly clear before the 2025 NBA draft.
Well-rounded, highly skilled competitor, very cognitive player, and the greatest thing about him is how much he loves his teammates.
30 games into his rookie season with the Charlotte Hornets, he's proving every single one of them wrong.
Oh, man, cracking? I gotta go with Pinnacle, man.
The pre-draft scouting reports weren't negative exactly, but they were limiting in a way that felt almost dismissive. Bleacher Report wrote that Knueppel realistically wasn't going to be a team's top 2 option given his lack of creativity, wiggle, and burst at the point of attack. Yahoo Sports warned that his athleticism lacked elite burst and verticality, making it tough to imagine him becoming a primary creator. NBA Draft Room stated plainly that he might not be a primary scoring option in the NBA. But here's the one that stands out most. Fox Sports analyst Jason McIntyre suggested that Knueppel's value would be late in the first round, where there's zero pressure for him to slide into being a role player.
Pinnacle.
Late first-round value for a guy who should feel no pressure to be anything more than a complimentary piece. Charlotte took him 4th overall, and what's happened since has been nothing short of extraordinary. Through 30 games, Knueppel is averaging 19.3 points per game, while leading all rookies in scoring and breaking records that have stood for decades.
This kid has a chance to pretty much break all of Steph Curry's records when it comes to shooting the ball. Big guard in a 6'6" frame.
Miles Bridges recently called him the team's best player this year. What follows is the story of how the entire scouting community missed this badly. Understanding Kon Knueppel requires understanding his family. And this family might be the most accomplished basketball dynasty Wisconsin has ever produced.
His dad and several uncles were decorated college players, with Uncle Jeff Nordgaard even making it to the NBA.
His father, Kon Sr., remains Wisconsin Lutheran College's all-time leading scorer with 2,064 career points and earned Hall of Fame induction in 2014. His mother, Chari Nordgaard, holds the exact same distinction at UW Green Bay, where she scored 1,964 points and had her number 33 jersey retired in January of 2024. Even his uncle Jeff Nordgaard reached the NBA, going 53rd overall in 1996 and appearing in 13 games for the Milwaukee Bucks. Basketball wasn't just a hobby in this household, it was the family business. Wisconsin Lutheran High School became the stage where Knueppel announced himself, and by the time he graduated, every school record belonged to him.
Very confident, the ability to work on his game and rep it, and
1,978 points, 808 rebounds, and 398 assists. Senior year brought a perfect 30-0 record, along with the Division II state championship. And the awards piled up with Wisconsin Mr. Basketball, Gatorade Player of the Year, and AP Player of the Year, all landing on his resume. The Nike EYBL circuit saw him lead all players in scoring at 22.5 points per game, while shooting 47.5% from deep. Duke signed him alongside Cooper Flag and Kaman Maluash as part of the nation's top-ranked 2024 recruiting class. And even though Flag absorbed most of the attention as the consensus first overall pick, Knueppel assembled a quietly dominant freshman campaign. His numbers told the story: 14.4 points per game, 40.6% from 3, and an ACC, leading 91.4% from the free throw line. Only one other Blue Devil has ever shot above 90% for an entire season, and that player is J. Redick. A CC Tournament MVP honors came his way, along with a spot on the NCAA East Region All-Tournament team, as Duke advanced to the Final Four. And still, the scouts kept saying the same thing: role player. What made the pre-draft evaluations so consistent was their shared pessimism about Knueppel's ceiling, despite all that college production. The player comparisons revealed everything scouts believed about him. Doug McDermott, Corey Kispert, Sam Hauser, Grady Dick, quality NBA players, accomplished shooters, but none of them stars. NBA combined testing seemed to validate every concern about his athleticism, with Knueppel finishing 68th out of 73 players in lane agility and 61st in the three-quarter court sprint. Scouts pointed at those numbers and felt vindicated, calling him a limited athlete with a high floor but a limited ceiling. Bleacher Report projected him as a quality third or fourth option, while NBA Draft Room labeled him more of an off-ball player. The consensus formed around a simple premise. Kon Knueppel would space the floor and shoot well, but would never carry a team. Nobody sent that memo to the Charlotte Hornets. Through 30 games of his NBA career, Knueppel hasn't just exceeded expectations. He's rewriting record books at a pace nobody anticipated. The raw numbers paint an immediate picture of dominance.
This kid is a superstar in the making. He's really making a name for himself this season. He's a surprise.
Hey, Panickel, my nickel, you over there getting it, boy. Shout out to Panickel, over there getting it, straight up and down. He the cracking you.
His 19.3 points per game leads all 2025 rookies, and his 43.2% three-point shooting comes on 8.7 attempts per game, which represents the highest attempt rate by any rookie in NBA history. Free throws fall at a 90% clip, while his overall field goal percentage sits at 48.2%. But here's the stat that captures what's really happening. December 22nd, 2025, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Kon Knueppel becomes the fastest player in NBA history to reach 100 career three-pointers, accomplishing the feat in just 29 games.
Kon Panickel, my nickel, is my cracking MVP.
Lauri Markkanen held the previous record at 41 games, meaning Knueppel shattered it by 12 full games. For context on how absurd that pace is, Stephen Curry needed 58 games to reach the same milestone. The greatest shooter in NBA history took twice as long as this rookie. Additional records now belong to Knueppel as well, including most three-pointers in his first 4 career games, with 16 and fastest to 50 career threes at just 15 games. At his current pace of 3.6 made threes per game, he's tracking toward 276 three-pointers this season. Keegan Murray's rookie record stands at 206. This isn't good performance anymore. This is historically unprecedented territory. What makes Knueppel's trajectory even more impressive is the steady climb throughout the season, suggesting his ceiling may be even higher than his current production. October brought 13.8 points per game on 50% three-point shooting as he found his footing in the league. Solid but not spectacular numbers for a lottery pick still adjusting. November marked the turning point. Scoring jumped to 19.9 points per game, and a homecoming game in Milwaukee produced a 32-point eruption against the Bucks. The kid from Wisconsin Lutheran High School torched his hometown team in front of family, friends, and everyone who watched him grow up. December took everything to another level entirely, with 20.8 points per game on 45.4% from 3, including a career-high 33-point performance against Chicago on December 12th. A near triple-double followed against the Lakers with 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. The 30-game sample now includes 7 games with 25 or more points, which is more than all other rookie guards combined. What exactly did the scouts get wrong about Kon Knueppel, and what did they get right? Their assessment of his athleticism was accurate. Knueppel still can't dunk regularly, still tests poorly in agility drills, and still isn't going to blow by defenders with elite burst. The physical limitations they identified were real and remain real. What they failed to account for was how basketball IQ, shooting excellence, and competitive fire could combine to produce star-level production, even without elite athleticism. Kevin O'Connor at The Ringer captured this disconnect perfectly by noting that while Knueppel drew Klay Thompson comparisons for his shooting, Knueppel is averaging more pick and rolls per game than Klay ran in his entire career. The catch and shoot label doesn't fit because he's becoming a primary creator, which is the exact transformation everyone insisted he could never make. NBA coaches who faced him are starting to see it too. After facing Knueppel on December 31st, Steve Kerr offered a Hall of Fame comparison that caught everyone's attention. The Warriors coach said he sees a lot of Chris Mullin in Knueppel, pointing to the good size on the wing, the big strong body, the catch-and-shoot ability, combined with incredible IQ and the constant knack for making the right play. Kerr's assessment ended with a simple declaration: he's already a really, really damn good player. Chris Mullin won 5 All-Star selections and a Hall of Fame induction, and that's the comparison from a championship coach who actually shared the court with Mullin. Steph Curry weighed in as well, noting that for as young as Knueppel is, he plays with remarkable composure, and his playmaking is very underrated. Curry observed that Knueppel's game suits the NBA style, whether it's fast-paced run-and-gun or slowed-down possession basketball. Miles Bridges watches Knueppel in practice every day and plays alongside him every game, and his assessment cuts straight to the point. Bridges called Knueppel the team's best player this year, praising his consistency and the effort he brings to every game and every day, which he says reflects the type of person Knueppel is. Head coach Charles Lee has spoken about the three-headed monster of LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Kon Knueppel, predicting it will be a staple for a really long time. Lee credits Knueppel's shooting mechanics to his basketball family, along with the development work done under Duke coach John Shear. Kevin O'Connor summarized the narrative shift with one headline that said it all: "Bye-bye, LaMelo. Kon Knueppel is the star now." Knueppel isn't the Rookie of the Year favorite, despite all these numbers. And that distinction still belongs to his former Duke teammate Cooper Flagg at minus 550 odds compared to Knueppel's plus 450. What's remarkable is how close the race has become. Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month honors went to Knueppel in both November and December, back-to-back recognition for his play. Flagg won Western Conference Rookie of the Month both times as well. And this marked the first time in NBA history that former college teammates won their respective conference awards in the same month. They've now done it twice. Despite the scoring titles, record-breaking performances, and growing recognition, Knueppel's quotes reveal a player who has kept his perspective remarkably intact. On his unselfish approach to the game, he explained that's how basketball was designed to be played, and when the ball is moving, it's the most fun for everybody. On still feeling like a rookie despite leading his team in scoring, he admitted he's still figuring things out and still counting on his teammates, especially for everything that happens off the court. Missing his first games ever due to an ankle injury in late December brought an unfamiliar feeling. Knueppel explained that he hadn't missed a game in all of high school or college, so it felt weird, and he found himself getting real shaky and wanting to be out there. Faith remains central to his identity, and on draft night, he called it a blessing from God to enter the NBA, adding that being able to share that moment with his family felt beyond comprehension. Fairness requires acknowledging the legitimate concerns that still exist about Knueppel's game. Charlotte sits at 11-22 despite his individual success, and his production hasn't translated into wins yet. At the end of the day, that matters for how his career will ultimately be judged. The defensive limitations scouts flagged before the draft remain visible. Sports Illustrated Hornets noted that if he gets beat, and he lacks any break glass in case of emergency athletic tool to recover. Shooting variance has appeared as well, including a 7-game stretch where his three-point percentage dropped to just 31.6% before bouncing back. Knueppel acknowledged the reality of shooting slumps, saying that's sometimes how it goes and it's always going to regress to the mean. Perfection isn't the claim here, and he's not a finished product by any measure, but the gap between what scouts projected and what he's actually producing on an NBA court cannot be ignored. Before the draft, consensus formed around a simple narrative. Kon Knueppel offered late first-round value as a role player with a high floor and limited ceiling who would never be a primary scoring option. 30 games into his career, he's a Rookie of the Year contender, averaging nearly 20 points per game. The record for fastest player to 100 career three-pointers now belongs to him. Steve Kerr has compared him to Chris Mullin. His teammates have called him the best player on the team. Scouts looked at his athletic testing and saw limitations, looked at his game and saw a shooter. What they missed was a competitor with generational shooting ability, elite basketball IQ, and the bloodlines of Wisconsin basketball royalty. The pre-draft reports called him plug and play, projected him as a quality third or fourth option, and suggested he should go late in the first round, where there would be zero pressure to become anything more than a role player. Charlotte called his name at pick number 4, and Kon is making them look brilliant for doing it. He was supposed to be a role player. He's becoming a superstar.